What up, 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 what's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's how I do theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was gonna, I thought Lil Murder was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lube and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yala Van Zap's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have some blue thong or a blue jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
All right, I'm here. Give me just a second, y'all. At the last minute, my camera was having issues, and I wanted to see if I could fix her before I came on. Let me make sure she right. Get all this right. Give me just a second, y'all. I'm coming. Lord. See if I can get her to act right. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. See how we look. All right. We good. We here. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. We are here. It still look kind of funky, y'all. Y'all, do I look okay? I feel like it's really weird. Y'all let me know if everything look good on y'all end, please, because like my camera looks really weird. Anyway, let me share this out. Y'all listen. Because of everything going on, we got to start here.
You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spiker.
So love now, I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major sugar spiker.
And
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
How would somebody help me?
You know what? With everything going on, one more time.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe
Major sugar spike.
they shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
How would somebody help me?
I mean, y'all, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. Hold on for a moment, y'all. I just can't shake the feeling. Y'all sure my camera okay? Okay. Y'all say I look fine, then I'ma just accept that I look fine, but my camera on my end look like it's giving me grief. So I'm gonna just take y'all word for it. Hold on, let me do one more thing. Hold on. All right, we should be good now. God, I hope. Okay, I think that fixed everything. If it didn't, it is what it is. But y'all, we one more time, Larry, because there's a lot of fuck shit going on.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe
Major sugar spike.
they shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
How would somebody help me?
Jesus. Listen, y'all let me know if I'm having camera issues on y'all end. If I am, I'm gonna just turn my camera off and just do it without, y'all seeing me. But it's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. Like, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at right now, okay? This is literally where the fuck I'm at right now, okay? This is where we are. This is where the fuck we are right now, okay? Oh God, just help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus. Jesus! Jesus! I mean, listen, it makes you want to scream. It makes you want to scream. Like, I don't know what else to do but to freaking scream.
Holy Ghost will tell you, don't wait at the church. You can wait at the beach. How would somebody help me?
That's all I got. That's it. That's all. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else y'all want from me. I don't know what else to do. I just don't know. Let me say hello to y'all. We got a lot of shit to break down. It's so much going on. So much. Dear God above. Shout out to Tiffany Cross, who always says trying to cover Donald John and all of his fuck shit is like trying to catch confetti. Hey, crazy homebody girl. Hey, Felicia. But I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. We in this thing together. We got each other. We got each other. Hey, Symmetry. Tanya. Hey, Tanya Boo. We got each other. Hey, El Cid. We got to cling to each other and hold on to each other. Hey, Tamara. Brown. Ma. Oh, we just got a little bit of flurries up here where I'm at, Brown Mama. We got a little bit of flurries about an hour ago, and I ain't seen nothing since then. We got some flurries for about maybe about 30 minutes. They ain't really stick. They done went on and passed on. So I'm glad because I don't need no snow right now. Hey, B-Lo Didi, what's going on, sweetheart? Ravine, what is up? Sharice over on the West Coast. How you doing, sweetheart? Aquarius, the only real sign. How you doing, baby? Montrez, what's good, bruh? You say it's lagging? Okay. I knew it was something off with my camera, y'all. Y'all might have to give me one more second. It look fine to me. Okay. I feel like it's lagging on my end. Y'all know what I'm about to do? I'm about to do a hard one. This is what I'm going to do, y'all. Y'all hold tight. I'm going to give y'all the intro one more time. While the intro is playing, that gives me a chance to go ahead, reboot, because it can do it while I'm not up here. I'll get a chance to reboot. By that time, I'll be back, and we'll be ready to get this party started, all right? So just hang around. I'm coming right back. Let me get through do this intro. I'll be right back.
What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the 4th level of hell and sent us down to the 7th level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you going to run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitch was going to stop. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lube and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Little Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Wait.
Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, it still looks a little laggy. I don't know what the situation is, y'all. But we're going to try to power through it. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with my camera today. I hope I don't have to get a new one. But if we do, we'll work through that too. It ain't the first time we've had to work through something. It won't be the last. So we'll do the best we can. Just bear with me today. If it's lagging too much, y'all let me know. I'll just shut off my camera and we can go. Y'all done see me before. Y'all know what I look like, okay? One of my hall monitors, will y'all please let me know if I'm lagging too much, okay? All right. So, like I said, we got a lot to break down. We got a lot to talk about. If I didn't say hello to you, I apologize. But we'll do the best we can, okay? If I did not say hello to you, I apologize, but I got a lot of stuff to get through today. Of course, yesterday was a lot. So we're going to do everything we can to get through all of this stuff, okay? To get through everything that we have to get through. Now, let me say this before we even start down this road, okay? Before we even start down this road, let me say how I'm going to do this for the foreseeable future while we have to deal with this man and his level brand of fuckery. It's too much for me to break down everything. It's just much too much. I cannot get through everything. Like I said earlier, it's like trying to catch confetti. Okay? So, what my concerted effort is to give you all stuff that we care about, stuff that affects me and my people, okay? I can't concern myself with all of these other people. I don't listen, they don't seem too concerned about us, so I'm not too concerned about what the fuck they got going on. So when I come on here daily to give you all the rundown of what has happened, my concern or what I want to bring to you are things that affect us and affect our communities and affect our lives and way of living. I am coming here doing everything I can to sift through what is real, what is not real. I do everything on my end to vet things out. I don't try to bring y'all stuff that's not true, stuff that is not has not been vetted, stuff that has no validity and or accuracy. I try to bring y'all stuff that I know is real and credible. So y'all please understand. You may say, well, L Teddy, you ain't bring us that. You're right. Cause I can't, it's no way for me to go through everything. Like you've seen over the last 24 plus hours. There's just not enough energy, time, or space to do that. So I'm gonna do all I can to give y'all the stuff that applies and affects us, and we're going to try and go from there. Now, what I ask of you is this. If you see things that you know, hey, L. Teddy, you may need to cover this. Hey, L. Teddy, this is something that affects me, my people, what we got going on. You may send me a email. My email is always scrolling at the bottom. If you on Instagram, you can send me a DM. I haven't closed down my Instagram yet. Of course, the members know how to get in contact with me, so that's real easy. But because it's a lot, y'all. Now, let me also say, before we even get started, let's take a breath. Take a moment to breathe. Breathe in 5, Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to do this on a daily basis, y'all. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to do that because this stuff will have you enraged. It will have you in fear of your own safety, well-being, and that of your family, friends, and loved ones. Now, I'm not going to tell you it ain't nothing to be concerned about, but I also want us to take a step back and just take a breather. What I am going to say is we cannot afford to sit this one out. And you'll see I'm going to spend a lot of time on some stuff in the beginning today that proves to you that we cannot afford to sit this one out, okay? So let's get right down to it. Let's do it. Let's get right down to it. Let's start. Listen, we started yesterday. Sunkissed man signed a deluge of executive orders. Now, here's my concern. My concern is the people and entities who we are looking for and expecting to keep us informed are not doing that. They're not doing that. The people and entities we are expecting to keep us informed of all of the stuff that's not being said, they're not doing that. I've even seen people, some of my colleagues and friends, and people that I watch on YouTube and other social media, they're concerned about a whole lot of stuff, and the stuff that is being swept under the radar, nobody's talking about it. Like, I got black people over here. I got members of the Rainbow Coalition compound spending time laughing about what's going on with the raids, talking about birthright citizenship, neglecting to talk about the real things that are about to affect us as black people, or for my people in the Rainbow Coalition compound. So when I come to you today, I'm going to show you the real. We about to go through it because I need y'all to see it with y'all eyes, okay? Now let me get with the first one, the big one that everybody's talking about. The big one you hear everybody talking about is the birthright citizenship. Here's the concern. Birthright citizenship. Y'all, I'm just gonna turn off my camera because my camera's doing a lot. So is this okay, y'all? I'm just turn off my camera for now because my camera's doing a whole lot. And it's pissing me off. So I'm just gonna turn it off, and maybe I'm gonna unplug it. Maybe it'll recalibrate itself because it's doing a lot right now, and I don't have the type of energy for whatever my camera got going on today. Okay, so anyway, hold on, y'all. All right, maybe if I reseat the cable. All right, so one more second, y'all. One more second. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. If it keep giving me grief, I'm just gonna leave it off, y'all. We'll be all right. All right. So people are concerned about this birthright citizenship. Okay. The problem is that's the smoke and mirrors, y'all. Let's be clear. Here's their strategy. Here's going to be their strategy for the next 4 years. We're going to throw as much shit out there as we can. Hopefully they don't have the time, energy, money, personnel to address all of this shit, so our shit can slip through the cracks. Let me yeah, because my camera is doing a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it off, and y'all know what I look like. So thank you so much, Big Ant, for your super chat. Thank you for all this political information. I would not have known this info if it wasn't for you. I gather more from you than CNN, MSNBC, hell, Fox News. PS, my credit card is ready for the merge. Thank you, Big Ant. Thank you so much. All right. So listen. Here's the problem. They're going to if you notice, everybody's talking about citizenship, birthright citizenship. This is a 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Every Democrat attorney general and some of the major cities have already sued this man. Any judge worth his judicial credit and capital is absolutely going to strike this down and put an injunction on it saying that you can't do that because it's a direct violation of the 14th Amendment. You cannot rescind a or eradicate an amendment to the Constitution without 2/3 of a vote of Congress and then 3/4 votes of the states. That ain't happening no time soon, okay? So since that's not happening, all of this clamoring and screaming about birthright citizenship, baby, y'all trying to give me smoke and mirrors. And guess what? Let me talk to my black. I'm gonna turn my camera on for a second to talk to my black people so y'all can see me. Hold on. Ain't this what the Hispanic people voted for? Y'all voted for this in the Latino community. And my heart hurts because there's a lot of my friends that are Latino that did not vote for this man and did not vote for this, and my heart hurts for them. However, I want to keep our eyes on the prize. Let me go off screen because my camera's still doing a lot. All right. Here's what we need to be concerned with, right? So let me take you to what they should have been showing you yesterday. Okay, let me take you to what this is what the man signed that they should have focused on. Let me take this down because they're not going to show you what they should have shown you. Hold on, y'all. I got y'all. We finna do this today. We about to break all this down today. Let's break it down. Now, what they should have shown you is this. This is coming from the official whitehouse.gov page, okay? Now, this was the first thing that he signed, okay? This is the first thing that he signed. Now, what does this do? I'm going to cut through all of the bullshit, okay? Section 2 of this says the following executive actions are hereby revoked, okay? So what that means is all of the executive orders underneath here are hereby revoked. They were all passed by Joseph Robinette, and now that President Trump is here, they are null and void because at the swipe of a pen, this executive order deems all of Biden's executive orders null and void. There's no need for congressional approval as long as it does not violate current law or constitution. These things are enacted. Now, let's go through this. Let's pay attention because they wanted to talk about things that were not going to, well, I'm not going to say that affect us, but a large of my community. I told y'all I'm here to talk about my community. I'm a part of the Black community. I'm a part of the Rainbow Coalition compound. So I just wanted to go through some of these that are going to affect my community. Okay, so and let me tell you the ones that I particularly care about. Okay, now If you're writing down, the ones that I want you to pay attention to is Executive Orders 14074 and Executive Orders 14075 that you'll see on this list. We're going to go through it and show you what this means. Now, let's go through these. We have Executive Order 13985, which was advancing racial equity support for underserved communities through the federal government. Gone. We want no parts of there being any racial equity or support for underserved communities by the federal government. Gone, eradicated. I'm showing y'all all of the stuff that they're neglecting to tell us about. 13986, ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and apportionment pursuant to decennial census, which means that there was, and that executive order basically said that when you did the census, you had to do it accurately. There were certain questions that you could and could not ask in the census. It also allowed for, if there were undocumented people or people whose citizens status were maybe or may not be may have been in question, they were still allowed to be counted in the census for accurate numbers of who the hell is in this country. That going. So we don't give a damn about accuracy of the census. Let's go to 13988, preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. Now, let me talk to my Rainbow Coalition compound residents, because y'all seem to believe that this is just affecting our trans brothers and sisters. I got a news flash. This is for the lesbians and this is for the gay boys. It ain't just about the trans people. These are all LGBTQ plus rights. So this executive order that was to prevent and combat discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation, gone. This is on the federal level. Let's look at 13989, which was the executive order on ethics commitments by executive branch personnel, meaning there was a certain amount of ethics about the personnel within the executive branch when they were going about filling positions and personnel within the executive branch. This isn't about DEI. This was about a standard of ethics, meaning things that you should and should not do ethically as a member of the executive branch and within the personnel. You notice the guardrails are being taken off, ladies and gentlemen. They're being taken off. Let's continue. Let's look at 13999, which is protecting worker health and safety. These were protections that were put in place to protect worker health and safety on the federal level. This was to combat the fact that you had Governor Hot Wheels and Governor Death Sentence in Florida and Texas that were passing laws that said that communities and municipalities did not or should not have any laws that required people to have to take water breaks if it's too hot. And there were people dying of heat stroke. And instead of supporting the citizens, you had whole states passing laws making it illegal to put provisions and laws in place to protect workers from dying of heat stroke or other worker provisions and safety precautions. All of that is going from the federal level. Let's continue. See, these are the things. They want to major on the minor and minor on the major. I'm bringing y'all stuff that is touching everyday lives of everyday people. every day. Because guess what? In some of these states, the only reason you have protection is via federal law or federal executive order. When these federal executive orders are taken away, you then are left to whatever your state laws are and your state provisions are. So now you're left to the fuck shit and fuckery that we got going on. Tacos and tequila, the ACLU got about 865 attorneys doing the best that they can. This is on purpose. They're gonna throw a whole bunch of shit out there to make it where you just feel like it's just not enough manpower to get through all of this. That's why I say, and you got the mainstream media that ain't saying a fuck thing about this. They're being quiet as hell. This shit is happening under the cloak of darkness. But we saw the mainstream media bend the knee to this fuck bitch right after November 5th. They going down to Mar-a-Lago having meetings talking about, oh, well, we have to go and coalesce to the other side. No, the fuck we don't. This is why when y'all try to come over here and talk to me about these people that want to go over there, baby, go the fuck over there and stay over there. I don't want to hear no problems when they fuck you over. Continuing on, let's go to 14003, which is protections of the federal workforce, because now they have placed other things. He did this first, and now they have oh god, what's the name of? I think it's called Category F, or I can't think of the name. It just escaped my mind real fast. It just escaped my mind. It's called I was just looking at it earlier. Mm, shit. I should have wrote it down. I didn't have enough time and not enough energy to put it in the dossier today because I had just so much going on and I just couldn't get to everything. Okay. Oh, Schedule F. That's what it's called. Schedule F, which is for federal employees, targeting in federal employees. So now you have a new class of federal employees that now you can move people out as on a whim if you want and bring his own sycophants and acolytes in whenever he wants. That's what we got going on. Schedule F. Thank you, Candace and Auntie Kim. So he had to do away with the protecting of federal workforce first, and now they can implement Schedule F. This is happening, but don't nobody want to talk about it. 14004, enabling all qualified Americans to serve in uniform. Let me repeat that. Enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniforms. So what that's putting back in place is they get to determine, now they get to say, if you're trans, nope, you can't serve. Who knows what else this is leading to? Because it's not just the trans community that they're going to target here. It's not the trans community that they're going to target here. When you remove saying all qualified Americans can serve their country, now they can start to parcel out who and what they want to be a part of our United States military. These things are happening. 14019. Let's take a look at that one. Promoting access to voting. This was all stricken down. This was all stricken down. This was all stricken. Let me make this big, because maybe y'all think I'm just making this up. This is all on whitehouse.gov, people. This was stricken down. Executive Order 14019, promoting access to voting. Meaning, when you had states out here doing things to suppress your vote, to disenfranchise you with regard to voting, to make it harder for you to have access to the polls. There were executive orders on the federal level in place for protections against that. Now, there are some laws that are supposed to codify that, but states had already found loopholes to the Voting Rights Act and other laws. We know we had huge swaths of the Voting Rights Act that was stricken down through the Holder decision some years back. And so now we have to have executive orders put in place to help people have access to voting. Because your SCOTUS, or Supreme Court of these yet to be United States of America, used the Voting Rights Act to wash their ass with. Let's move on. 14021, guaranteeing an educational environment free from discrimination on the basis of sex, including sexual orientation or gender identity. That ain't just for the trans people. That's for all of the LGBTQ plus community. And guess what? White women, it affects you too. Because the first one they're coming at is on the basis of sex. That goes to you, white women. That was protection for white women. You all were the ones that were the biggest beneficiary of this executive order. And guess what the fuck he did? He said, fuck you and fuck your life. Thank you for your vote, but I don't need you anymore. He don't give a damn. And he don't give a damn about the rest of the Republican Party. Because guess what? He can't run again. And stupid ass Republican parties, they're just going along with this wholesale. This is happening, people, but nobody wants to talk about it. Mm. Let's continue. 14050, which is the White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunities for Black Americans. The White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunities for Black Americans. Because they did away with affirmative action, because they did away with anything in education on the college level and K through 12 that deals with anything involving race, there had to be an executive order put back in place. Because remember, y'all did away with affirmative action, because remember, y'all started to do away with anything involving any types of equity when it comes to Black people. Gone. Now, the next two I want to pay attention to, and that's Executive Order 14074 and Executive Order 14075. Before I get to those, I want to call out the last one that we'll pay attention to, which is 14091, further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Let me say that again. Further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. That's for our Black asses. This is why I don't have time as a person that is that I feel a charge that I have to bring this stuff before you, make sure that my community is informed on what's going on. I don't have time to sit back and be like, oh, let me laugh at this group of people because they voted for Trump and that's what they get. I don't have time to do that. You want to know why? Because my rights and for my community are eroding. And if I don't bring this to your attention, by the time we figure it out, it's too late. When it happens to you, it's too late to get prepared. You can't buy car insurance when you get in a car accident. You have to already have car insurance and be prepared for the car accident that may or may not happen. And in this case, if they are eroding and taking away things that we may or may not know that we had, luxuries and rights and privileges that we may or may not have known that we had, if I'm not prepared to deal with the fact that they're going, when I have to be confronted with them, I'm not going to be prepared. I'm going to be one of the ones over here talking about, oh, that's my right. And they're going to say, no, it's not your right. That was taken away from you some years ago. You didn't know it. This is why I feel the urge to bring this stuff to your attention. However, let me go to 14074. Now, I want to highlight I'm going to pull that executive order up because I need you all to see what really was rescinded. Now, if I go to the White House, because there was a White House webpage that would actually spell out what the executive order was, that page is already gone. They took that shit down immediately, okay? So now there are other pages that chronicle all executive orders that have ever been passed, and so I had to go to these places to find, and this is the Federal Register .gov, where I found the actual language for these cases. So let me bring this up, and I'm gonna make this big. So here we have, this is Executive Order 14074, which is advancing effective, accountable policing and criminal justice practices to enhance public trust and public safety. Now, why was this important to pass? Because feckless as Congress kept promising us the George Floyd Police Reform Act and never gave it to us because they could never get that shit through Congress. So the executive order 14074 was the Biden administration's putting an executive order out there to have some protections on the federal level against this, against the horrible policing that we had. So here we are. Let's look at what just got wiped away in the stroke of a pen. That they're not telling us, because y'all want me to be concerned about a whole lot of things, and I'm not saying we shouldn't be concerned about all of those things. But for me as a Black person in our community, this shit right here affects us most. We are the ones that get affected by bad policing more than any other marginalized group. Even with them talking about federal raids and all of these horrible things that they want to do to immigrants, we are always public enemy number one as Black people. Even the immigrants are afforded more grace and mercy from law enforcement than our Black asses. I'm just going to tell it like it is and stop me when I'm lying. So let's talk about what just got wiped away. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, I hereby order as follows. Section 1. Policy. Our criminal justice system must respect dignity and rights of all persons and adhere to our fundamental obligation to ensure fair and impartial justice for all. This is imperative, not only to live up to our principles as a nation, but also to build secure, safe, and healthy communities. Protecting public safety requires close partnerships between law enforcement and the communities it serves. Public safety, therefore, depends on public trust, and public trust in turn requires that our criminal justice system as a whole embodies fair and equal treatment, transparency, and accountability. Law enforcement officers are often a person's first point of contact with our criminal justice system, and we depend on them to uphold these principles while doing the demanding and often life-threatening work of keeping us safe. We expect them to help prevent and solve crimes and frequently call upon them to respond to social problems outside their expertise and beyond their intended role, diverting attention to their critical public safety mission and increasing the risks of a of an already dangerous job, which has led to the deaths of law enforcement officers and civilians alike. The vast majority of law enforcement officers do these jobs with honor and integrity, and they work diligently to uphold the law and preserve the public's trust. Yet, there are places in America today, in particular in brown and in black and brown communities and other communities of color, where the bonds of trust are frayed or broken. We have collectively following law enforcement encounters that have tragically ended ended in the loss of life. To heal as a nation, we must acknowledge that those fatal encounters are disparately impacted black and brown people and other people of color. The pain of the families of those who have been killed is magnified when expectations for accountability go unmet and the echoes of their losses reverberate across generations. More broadly, numerous aspects of our criminal justice system are still shaped by race or ethnicity. It is time that we acknowledge the legacy of systemic racism in our criminal justice system and work together to eliminate the racial disparities that endure to this day. Doing so serves all Americans. Through this order, my administration is taking a critical step in what must be part of a larger effort to strengthen our democracy and advance the principles of equality and dignity. While we can make policing safer and more effective by strengthening trust between law enforcement officers and the communities they serve, we must also reform our broader criminal justice system so that it protects and serves all people equally. To be clear, certain obstacles to lasting reform require legislative solutions. In particular, system-wide system-wide change requires funding and support that only Congress can authorize. But my administration will use its full authority to take action, including the implementation of this order to build and sustain fairness and accountability throughout the criminal justice system. The need for such action could not be more urgent. Since early 2020, communities around the country have faced rising rates of violent crime, requiring law enforcement engagement at a time when law enforcement agencies are already confronting the challenges of staffing shortages and low morale. Strengthening community trust is more critical now than ever, as a community's cooperation with the police to report crimes and assist investigations is essential for deterring violence and holding perpetrators accountable. Reinforcing the partnership between law enforcement and communities is imperative for combating crime and achieving lasting public safety. I'm getting there, y'all, because when we get down to section 2, you know what? Let me skip to section 2. This is talking about all of the flowery stuff. I want to tell you about specifically what this means, okay? Now, what is being really taken away? Because section 1 gives you there are parts that I need to read. So let me continue. I'm going to continue because there are parts of this that we do need to read, and I don't want to skip no parts. So let me go back to where I was. Building trust between law enforcement agencies and communities they are sworn to protect and serve also requires accountability for misconduct and transparency through data collection and public reporting. It requires proactive measures to prevent profiling based on actual or perceived race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sex, including sexual orientation and sexual and gender identity, or disability, including by ensuring that new law enforcement technologies do not exacerbate disparities based on these characteristics. It includes ending discriminatory pretextual stops and offering support for evidence informed, innovative responses to people with substance use disorders, people with mental health needs, veterans, people with disabilities, vulnerable youth, people who are victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, or trafficking, and people experiencing homelessness or living in poverty. It calls for improving and clarifying standards for police activities such as the execution of search warrants and the use of force. Many law enforcement agencies across the country, including the federal, state, tribal, local, and territorial level, have already undertaken important efforts to modernize policing and make our broader criminal justice system more effective and more equitable. Their work has inspired many of the provisions of this order. These agencies and the officers who serve within them deserve recognition for their leadership and appreciation for setting a standard to others that others can follow. This order seeks to recognize these key reforms and implement them consistently across federal law enforcement agencies. Through this order, the federal government will also seek to provide state, tribal, local, and territorial law enforcement agencies with the guidance and support they need to advance their own efforts to strengthen public trust and improve public safety. It is also the policy of my administration to ensure that conditions of confinement are safe and humane, and that those who are incarcerated are not subject to unnecessary or excessive uses of force, are free from prolonged segregation, and have access to quality health care, including substance use disorder care and mental health care. We must provide people who are incarcerated with meaningful opportunities for rehabilitation and the tools and support they need to transition successfully back to society. Individuals who have been involved in the criminal justice system face many barriers in transitioning back into society, including limited access to housing, public benefits, health care, informed services, and support, education, nutrition, employment, and occupational licensing, credit, the ballot, and other critical opportunities. Lowering ballot barriers to reentry is essential to reducing recidivism and reducing crime. Finally, no one should be required to serve an excessive prison sentence. When the Congress passed the First Step Act of 2018, it sought to relieve people from unfair and unduly harsh sentences, including those driven by harsh mandatory minimums and the unjust sentencing disparity between crack and powder cocaine offenses. My administration will fully implement the First Step Act, including by supporting sentencing reduction in appropriate cases and by allowing eligible incarcerated people to participate in recidivism reduction programming and earn time credits. With these measures together, we can strengthen public safety and the bonds of trust between law enforcement and the community and build a criminal justice system that respects the dignity and equality of all in America. Now, sharing of federal best practices with tribal, local, territorial law enforcement agencies to enhance accountability. Independent investigations of in custody deaths. The Attorney General shall issue guidance to state, tribal, local, and territorial law enforcement agencies, LEAs, regarding best practices for conducting independent criminal investigations of death in custody that may involve conduct by law enforcement or prison personnel. Now, this section 2 tells you specifically, all of the first section was the flowery stuff, y'all. Section 2 goes point by point of the teeth of this executive order. So these are things that the federal government has to do by the signing of this executive order. So the first thing they have to do is the Attorney General has to share guidance to all of the state, tribal, local, and territorial law enforcement officers about best practices for conducting criminal investigations of the deaths of people when they're in custody. B, improving training for investigations for improving training for investigations into deprivation of rights under color of law. The Attorney General shall assess the steps necessary to enhance the Department of Justice's capacity to investigate law enforcement deprivation of rights under color of law, including through improving and increasing training of federal law enforcement officers, their supervisors, and federal prosecutors on how to investigate and prosecute cases involving the deprivation of rights under color of law pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 242. The Attorney General shall also, as appropriate, provide guidance, technical assistance, and training to state, tribal, local, and territorial investigators and prosecutors on best practices for investigating and prosecuting civil rights violations under applicable law. This is talking about when you have your rights taken from you, there's federal teeth that were there to say the Department of Justice has to get involved and step in and assist state, state, local, territorial, and tribal entities about how to properly investigate when someone has had their rights taken from them. It talks about pattern and practices of investigation. I want to get to a part, ensuring timely investigations, ensuring thorough investigations. There's a part that I want to, ensuring timely and consistent discipline. I wanted to get to this part too. The heads of all federal law enforcement agencies shall assess whether any of their respective agencies' policies or procedures cause unwarranted delay or inconsistent applications of discipline for incidents involving the use of deadly force or death in custody, and shall, without abrogating any collective bargaining obligations, make changes as appropriate within 240 days of the date of this order. The Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and the heads of other federal law enforcement agencies shall report to the president what, if any, to their respective policies or practices they have made. So this means if there was anything in a federal agency that had unwarranted delays or inconsistencies in the applications of discipline, so that means if somebody in law enforcement did something wrong, and if they had bureaucratic things in place to delay that person getting punished or that person facing discipline, this order said you couldn't, that went away. Now you can put as many delays as you want in there. So there was a section about strengthening officer recruitment and hire retention. There's another section. Where is it at? There's a section about supporting officer wellness. There's another section establishing a national law enforcement accountability database. Where's the section I want? Improving use of force data collection. This is important. Within 180 days of the date of this order, the heads of the federal law enforcement agencies shall submit data on a monthly basis to the FBI National Use of Force Data Collection in accordance with the definitions and categories set forth by the FBI. To the extent not already collected, such data shall include either all deaths of a person due to law enforcement use of force, all serious bodily injuries of a person due to law enforcement use of force, all discharges of a firearm by law enforcement at or in the direction of a person, not otherwise resulting in death or serious bodily harm, or, if applicable, a report for each category that no qualifying incidents occurred. It goes on talking about that. Section 7, banning chokeholds and coercive restraints. The heads of the federal law enforcement agencies shall, as soon as practicable, but no later than 90 days from the date of this order, ensure that their respective agencies issue police policies with requirements that are equivalent to or exceed the requirements of the policy issued by DOJ on September 13, 2021, which generally prohibits the use of chokeholds and coercive restraints, except where the use of deadly force is authorized by law. The head of every federal law enforcement agency shall incorporate training consistent with this section, providing federal law enforcement officers with clear guidance on use of force standards. It then goes into all of what that means with regard to use of force standards. Then they had language about providing anti-bias training and guidance. Within 180 days of this date of this order, the Director of Office of Personnel Management and the Attorney General shall develop an evidence-informed training module for law enforcement officers on implicit bias and avoiding improper profiling based on the actual or perceived race, ethnicity, national origin, limited English proficiency, religion, sex, including sexual orientation and gender identity, or disability of individuals. All of this is important, ladies and gentlemen. All of this is restricting no-knock entries. The heads of federal law enforcement agencies shall, as soon as practicable, but no later than 60 days from the date of this order, ensure that their respective agencies issue policies with requirements that are equivalent to or exceed the requirements of the policy issued by DOJ on September 13, 2021, which limits the use of unannounced entries, often referred to as no-knock entries, and provides guidance to ensure the safe execution of announced entries. The heads of federal law enforcement agencies shall maintain records of no-knock entries. The heads of federal law enforcement agencies shall issue annual reports to the president and post the reports publicly, setting forth the number of no-knock entries that occurred pursuant to judicial authorization, the number of no-knock entries that occurred pursuant to exigent circumstances, and disaggregate data by circumstances for no-knock entries in which law enforcement officer or other person was injured in the course of a no-knock entry. Assessing and addressing the effect of communities of use of force by law enforcement. All of this stuff is in there. Limiting the transfer or purchase of certain military equipment by law enforcement, which is important. We've talked on this platform about local police agency now becoming small military units because they started to buy things from the federal government that was used for war, not for use on domestic soil, but they started buying armament and vehicles and weaponry that were used by the military. All of this stuff was there, and now it's all gone. The last thing I want to go through, and I know that was long, y'all, and I apologize for those people who are like, I'll tell you why you're going through that. But I needed to go through that. I'm not going to go through 14075, but I want to say for the members of my the Rainbow Coalition compound that 14075 was protections for the LGBTQ plus community. That's what that was. That was protection for our community on the federal level. All of that is gone. All of that is gone. All of it. So, like I said earlier, I felt the need to let it be known, to have us go through a lot of this, to have us see that they are stripping the federal government of a lot of guardrails and things in place to protect us as citizens. And our protection of as citizens are gone effectively. Let's move on. For the members of the Latino community that decided to vote for President Trump and against your own interest, well, he basically said, kiss my ass. What do you see there? Let me make this big. That is what's left of the Spanish version of whitehouse.gov. There, because a large majority of our population speaks multiple languages, the largest language spoken outside of English being Spanish, there was a Spanish version of whitehouse.gov that before 12 o'clock yesterday was fully functional. Shortly thereafter, when you go and Google Spanish White House website, Spanish version, this is what comes up. Page not found. And conveniently, it says go home. Not home page. For you to click on the home page, it says go home because they want you to know, they want you to take your asses home. All they needed was your vote. At this point, you can go your ass home. Oh, you thought we gave a damn about you? No, we only cared about your vote. And we're gonna remove any ways for you to understand what the fuck we're doing. Oh, you want this in Spanish so you can read and understand and comprehend what's going on? Oh, no, the fuck you don't. Did you not know what you were voting for? This is happening, people. This is happening. So that happened just real shortly. In more news that this is happening, well, those people, you see how they're cheering right there? Well, they're cheering again today because all of these people had their convictions pardoned. Full unconditional pardons. And now they are emboldened. These people are now emboldened. We're talking about some 1,500 pardons that were done. Now, you got leaders of some of these nefarious organizations, like the leader of the Proud Boys, that was sentenced to 22 years because he was intimately involved with the entire organization of this insurrection, of this terrorist attack. And he was appropriately sentenced to 22 years. He should have got the death penalty for treason, but now he's walking scot-free, emboldened, and now told by his God King, I support you in all that you do. And if I ever need you all to overthrow the government again, I'll have you all go do it again. Let me talk to the Republican Party, okay? Before I get to the Democrats, let me get to the Republican Party. Hey, Republican Party, you do realize that this man sent these people to kill Republicans and Democrats alike. There was no differentiation. Tommy Tuberville, you over there green lighting this and saying it's okay. You do realize they were going to take your ass out too. There was no differentiation between Republican and Democrat alike. They were going to take all y'all asses out. And the first time Donald John wants to do something and you people buck the system too hard, what makes you think he's not going to tell all of these 1,500 plus people, and sure there'll be more now because they feel like they'll get pardoned. What makes you think he's not going to send them back to the Capitol to take these people out again? What about the Capitol Police, many of whom were maimed? Some of them died. Some of them ended up ending their own life because of their injuries. Some of them are permanently infirmed and maimed because of this. And even the ones who did not end up with injuries, what makes me want to go to work anymore? Because now you've told these people it's okay for this to happen. Aren't y'all the people who said you back the blue? You're all about law enforcement. You're the party of law enforcement, right? If I'm a member of Capitol Police, I tell all my people, you know what? Let's all just resign now. I'll find me a new job because what you're not gonna do is put my life, safety, and well-being in danger dealing with these crazy people. Now, a lot of things sound all well, fine, and dandy until we deal with situations like this where people's lives are in danger. People lost their lives. Lost their lives. People lost their lives, y'all. And what he said was, oh, these are the people who killed officers and were about to kill members of Congress and the vice president, they're the victims. That's what he just said. His vice president said, oh, we've never pardoned anyone who was responsible for committing a crime or violence against police. He looked at JD Vance and said, oh, yes, we will. Where's JD Vance at now? Where's he at now? I'm just saying. All of these people, 1,500 plus, they are now free people. They got their get out of jail free card. And they've been emboldened and told, when I need you, you can come and do it again. Now, let this have been Black Lives Matter, and there would have been a river of blood down Pennsylvania Avenue. Let this had been Black Lives Matter, there would have been a red river flowing through Washington, D.C. with the blood of those protesters. Please recall, he gave the order to the Secretary of Defense to use military airmen to shoot down protesters. And the Secretary of Defense said, I cannot do that because that's against the law and against the Constitution. That's the only reason it didn't happen. And you just had Pete Hegseth just last week said that he could not commit to telling Donald Trump that he would not use active duty military to shoot down Black Lives Matter protesters. But these people who are his sycophants and acolytes and who see him as their God king, they're free to go because they do his bidding. So I want all of the Republicans that are staying quiet today. You know, y'all being asked about it. Oh, I have nothing to say about it. Oh, I haven't really read it. Oh, I ain't really looked into that real hard yet. Give me a moment to look into it. We don't buy that shit. When they come knocking at the doors of the Capitol building again to come and take you bastards out, don't look for us to feel no kind of way. Head on the swivel. Head on the goddamn swivel. My members of the Congressional Black Caucus, please know your escape routes. Know where you need to go. Have your head on the swivel. Don't even, because these people don't care about y'all. They don't care about themselves. So you know they don't care about our black asses. Listen, the QAnon shaman dude, remember the dude who had on the horns on his head and shit? He already went out and said, oh, I'm out of jail. Yeah, I done got my pardon. I'm going to go buy me some more guns. Actually, let me get his quote correct. Here's his exact quote. Quote, I just got the news from my lawyer. I got a pardon, baby. Thank you, President Trump. Now I am going to buy some motherfucking guns. I love this country. God bless America. End of quote. They're going to get more guns and more ammo. They are ready. These people are ready. We're talking about domestic terrorists who have now been emboldened, and now whenever they feel any type of slight, whenever they feel that Congress, that you people have not done what they wanted to do, that you all haven't bent the knee or laid down prostrate before your God King, Donald John, they might be knocking at the door to the Capitol. And guess what? There's nobody to stop them now. Because Pete Hegseth said, yeah, I'm not sending the military if Donald Trump don't tell me to send the military. They're free to go. Department of Justice, no, we won't be we won't be pursuing criminal charges on these people. These are patriots. Oh, they're building gallows on the Capitol lawn. Oh, that's just a normal day on the White House. Oh, they're taking their fecal matter and smearing it all over the walls of the rotunda of the Capitol where y'all just had y'all inauguration yesterday. Oh, that's just a regular day at the Capitol. Let y'all tell it. I just want y'all to remember this, okay? Just want y'all to remember this. Don't act confused. Regular day at the Capitol, I'm smearing my fecal matter all over the walls. Regular day at the Capitol, according to you people. I'm just saying. Don't look surprised. Do not look surprised. In other news, Marco Rubio, he got sworn in today. I see you got sworn in the office, but your grandma can't even read the White House website. Because you know your grandma only speaks Spanish. She don't speak nobody's English, Marco Rubio. See, I know you from my area, Marco Rubio. Your raggedy ass grandmammy who shitted your raggedy ass mammy out, who then shit you out. She only read and speaks Spanish. She can't even read the shit that's going on. Because there's no more Spanish version, sir. I just now Marco Rubio is on record along with they had a confirmation hearing today for Elise Stefanik to be United Nations ambassador to the United Nations. Marco Rubio and Elise Stefanik said that, oh, not only are we on board with the complete annexation of the Gaza Strip, okay, I'm just saying, we're also on board with the West Bank, Israel having a biblical right to it, and the West Bank should also belong to Israel as well. So Israel should just go ahead and take all of that. Gaza Strip, West Bank, Palestinians, find somewhere to go into the sea. He's on board for that. The same Marco Rubio, who at first said that he was pro-Ukraine in the Ukraine-Russian war, who's now backpedaled and pussy popped off of that because Donald John don't want no parts of that, right? So he backpedaled and pussy popped off of that because now he's going to try and keep his job. So he has to, rubber stamp anything Donald John says. Now, I should let you know he got a unanimous vote, meaning every member of the Senate, Democrat and Republican alike, voted to confirm Marco Rubio. I'm just going to put that out there. Just so you know, every single sitting member of the Senate voted to confirm Marco Rubio, in case you were wondering. So when he go out there and he shits all over the relationships that we have with our foreign allies, when he rubber stamps Donald Trump saying that he wants to take back the Panama Canal and take control of Greenland, he's going to rubber stamp this fuck shit and alienate the entirety of our goddamn allies and NATO and all of the people who we're aligned with, who we need should we go into war with people. He's going to alienate all of these people and rubber stamp that. So I want all members of Congress, both Democrat and Republic alike, to remember that not one of you bastards voted no to him. Not a single one. Every single person, every swinging dick up in that bitch and every swinging titty up in that motherfucker voted for this bitch. Miss me when y'all tell me that you care about, because you got Democrats, oh, I care about the immigrants and all of these things, but you give unfettered support to this bitch. Y'all know there was enough votes for him to get confirmed by Republicans. They didn't need no help from y'all. Y'all decided on y'all own free will and accord to go and give a rubber stamp and support this fuck bitch. Because Marco Rubio is not the answer at all. See, this is the fuck shit that I'm talking about. Y'all go over here and lay in bed with these people. Y'all go over here and try and play nice with these people who don't give a fuck about y'all and don't give a fuck about the American people. Y'all always trying to play nice with people who don't play nicely. Now is not the time for you to be talking about we're going to stick to norms. Because these people have thrown all of the norms out of the window. People who tried to overthrow the government were pardoned. Then y'all want to tell me about norms. Miss me, Democratic Party. See, this is the fuck shit that I'm talking about. Exactly, V. Carter. Because Marco Rubio and Cubans out of Miami of his ilk could give a damn about the Latino community. They could even give a damn about Cubans. The only people they care about is the Cubans living in Miami, and that's it. Any other Cuban that want to come over here, they don't give a fuck. They're saying, oh, well, we here, and we don't give a damn if you ever come here. They don't give a damn about any other country because to them, they've been granted their own form of white supremacy. They have their own mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. Let them tell it. That's how the Cubans in Miami feel. And let's be clear, Cubans are more racist than their white counterpart. The Cubans are more racist than their white counterparts. And that's who y'all just unanimously elected as our Secretary of State. This is the fuck shit that I'm talking about. Because Marco Rubio, I remember when Trayvon Martin died, and you were one of the people that were over there supporting George Zimmerman, saying that he had a right to kill that young man. I remember, Marco Rubio, that you were one of the people in the Senate supporting the Supreme Court doing away with the goddamn affirmative action, doing away with parts of the Voting Rights Act. I remember that, Marco Rubio. I remember you ain't shit.
You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long now, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And who shall ever believe?
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
I wish somebody help me.
I apologize. I started spiking out a little bit. I had to get Larry to come and help me with. I was spiking out a little bit, y'all. I apologize. I had to spike out because I know who and what Marco Rubio is, and he ain't shit. In other news, Donald John tried to fire Keisha Lance Bottom, the same Keisha Lance Bottoms that had already resigned her position back on January 4th. Keisha Lance Bottoms submitted her letter of resignation back on January 4th, and it was accepted by President Joseph Robinette, then President Joseph Robinette. But Donald John thought that he was doing something and flexing when he wrote a letter saying that she was fired as the White House public engagement as the White House public engagement advisor. Sir, what? See, this is what you have going on is you have motherfuckers that don't know what's going on. And I'm telling you, all of this shit that's going on ain't coming out of the head of Donald John. It's coming out of the heads of these people who are around him that want all of their agendas to go through. He's just a mouthpiece at this point. He don't have a fucking clue what's going on. Don't have a goddamn clue. In more sugar spiky news, for those members of my Rainbow Coalition compound, the Supreme Court decided that it was going to hear a case of whether or not to allow parents to ban students from LGBTQ plus lessons. Yes, the United States Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case that could allow guardians or parents or guardians to prohibit students from hearing lessons or using books involving LGBTQ plus identities. The court voted Friday to hear Mahmoud versus Taylor, a case brought by the Beckett Fund of Religious Liberty on behalf of several Maryland parents who claimed that their First Amendment rights were somehow violated when Montgomery County Public Schools expanded its collection of books in school classrooms and libraries. While senior counsel at Beckett, Eric Baxter, accused the district of, quote, cramming down controversial gender ideology on 3-year-olds, end of quote, Montgomery County Public Schools maintained in it in its recent opposition filing that, quote, like all other books in the language arts curriculum, these storybooks impart critical reading skills through engaging age appropriate stories, end of quote. Now, we covered this story last year about Montgomery County because there were a group of parents that said y'all need to remove any book that has anything with gay people in there, and they tried to say that, oh, it wasn't age appropriate, but then come to find out every book in the library was age appropriate, or every book was on grade level and grade appropriate, and it had nothing to do with about the appropriateness, age appropriateness. It had everything to do with they just didn't want anything that had any information about there being a gay person. They want to just act like gay, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and the entirety of the LGBTQ plus community doesn't exist. They just want to act like they don't exist. And if they can act like they don't exist, guess what they can then do? Remove all of the rights protecting them. And that's the scary part. And for members of the LGBTQ plus community, some of y'all seem to think that this is just a fight for the trans community. I'm telling you, they're coming for the entirety of the community. All LGBTQ people are at risk. Sodomy laws are coming back. I'm telling you, Obergefell, I don't see Obergefell meaning marriage equality, meaning the right for same-sex marriage. I know it won't be law of the land by the time we get to 2028. I don't think it'll still be law by the time we get to the midterms. That can fall, and then you could go back to the days of sodomy laws, and then now it's illegal to be gay. Prepare yourselves, people. Prepare yourselves. People also realized yesterday that as they were on Instagram after 47 was sworn in, they could no longer search up the hashtag Democrat or Democrats. They went on Instagram and tried to look up Democrat or Democrats, and it wasn't there. There was nothing there. You could look up Republican or Republicans, but Democrat or Democrats had nothing when you searched for it. It was blank. But y'all over here want to ban TikTok. Mark Zuckerberg is out here on one, and y'all out here giving free support to Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebooks of the world, and the Instagram. That's why I'm taking the members only chat off of Instagram. That's why I'm not over there posting, even when I'm live over on Instagram, because I'm slowly removing myself even from Instagram and from Facebook, because I cannot support these people who are willfully going along with us being censored and also supporting people who mean my demise. I also posted on I believe on my community wall last night that people needed to go and check their Facebook accounts, because I had it happen to me. Somebody told me, check your Facebook account. You were automatically forced to follow Donald John and JD Vance, not their personal accounts, but their accounts, Vice President JD Vance and President Donald John. Now, what happened was, instead of when it changed over, them not having people having to refollow them or create a new account, the account belonging to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden automatically switched over to JD Vance and Donald John. So you may need to go check your Facebook and Instagram accounts because you may be following these people unknowingly. So go ahead and check your Instagram, Facebook accounts and things like that, Instagram and Facebook, because I had to unfollow and block. Did. Check your accounts. So just wanted to let you know. Our last sugar spiky story today is a tragic one out of the city of Atlanta, and it's another situation where we have to speak his name. The young man's name is Cornelius Taylor. That is Cornelius Taylor, Cornelius. It's his first name, last name, Taylor. So what happens is, in preparation for MLK festivities, that took place yesterday. Last week, Thursday on the 16th, the city of Atlanta started to, put up barricades and embankments for parades and stuff like that as they began to get prepared, right? Well, they started using heavy machinery and bulldozers to move things out of the way prior to checking to see if anybody was there. There was a homeless man there. That homeless man was Cornelius Taylor, and they started uh, 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 um, using the bulldozers and all of the heavy machinery to clear out the area. And the man ended up, he was in the area, and they never checked the area to see if there was anybody there, and the man lost his life. He was killed. Now, the mayor of Atlanta, my frat brother, Andre Dickens, he has apologized and all of this, that, and the third. But sir, s- uh, y'all, nobody goes to check the area. I mean, nobody, it could have been animals over there. It could have been people. Nobody went over there to go check the area, right? Now, this was a whole homeless encampment. This wasn't just him sleeping in some random area. This was a whole encampment where they knew a lot of homeless people stayed there. So the fact that you didn't go and check the area is even more horrible because you knew this was a known homeless encampment. He was pronounced dead. They did try to take him to the hospital. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. A mess. A damn mess. A damn mess. As we delve deeper into the dossier, finally out of the sugar spike segments, I got 5 minutes? Somebody tell me what time really be going live. One of my hall monitors, Tracy, somebody tell me what time really be going live. That means I got 5 minutes, God. So you should know that according to information and statistics going out, uh, Washington, D.C.'s escort services have seen a massive surge with the impending Trump inauguration and them knowing that the Republican Party has taken over Washington, D.C. You should know that all of the escort services have saw an uptick in all of their services. I'm sure if we look at the grinder activity and sniffies and all of that, that don't went up too. Because one thing Republicans like doing is having spoons dipped into their sugar bowls or dipping their spoons into sugar bowls that don't belong to their wives and or husbands. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. They said they don't talk to a few sex workers, and they've already said, yeah, we don't got we don't had a whole lot of business. Uh-huh. They said they can't even keep up. She said her friends can't even keep up. Child a mess. Carrie Underwood is mad at the world. Now, she mad because when she tried to sing America the Beautiful, they were having technical errors with the music. And so she had to quickly sing a cappella. Now, if you heard it, she was a little flat on some of them notes. Like it wasn't coming out to it was like, ooh, Carrie. Ooh. She was real upset and dissatisfied about it, right? Now, a source close to Carrie said that Carrie was upset, and they said, quote, her anxiety was high throughout the performance, and she felt that she was not afforded the same level of respect and admiration that previous performers such as Beyonce and Lady Gaga had received, end of quote. Now, how the fuck Beyonce and Lady Gaga get into this? These yo people. This is Donald John. Listen, Beyonce, Lady Gaga perform for Democratic presidents. These are yo people. You need to go over there and talk to yo people. Beyonce ain't got a fuck thing to do with this, Carrie Underwood. And I don't suspect you want the kind of smoke that you could get from the Beehive. Please be clear. I would hate to send the Beehive over there to fuck your ass up, because they will fuck you up, Carrie. Let me come on camera real fast. Carrie, they will fuck you up. They will fuck you up. Cha. I don't know how Beyonce and Lady Gaga get in it, but whatever. Girl, oh well, these are your people. Don't look at us. We don't give a damn. Good with God. Wendy is getting some help, and from people in positions of power. Anthony Palumbo, who is a New York State senator, he is reintroducing a piece of legislation that could change guardianship laws regarding family visitation in the state. According to our state senator Palumbo, Carolyn's law would allow families to visit loved ones by filing a motion with the court. The guardian would then have 10 days to show the court if the person intending to visit is displaying inappropriate conduct, and if not, they can visit. He says the law is designed to ensure family members have a legal path to visit a loved one under a guardianship, which he thinks is lacking under the existing framework. He has been following Wendy's case for years and says her being locked up in an apartment is tragic. He goes on to say even if her memory is failing, she should still be allowed to be with her family instead of forcibly separated from them. Despite the unfortunate circumstances, State Senator Palumbo hopes the newfound attention surrounding Wendy's case will spur lawmakers into action. So he first proposed the bill back in 2022, but it didn't get passed. So he's trying to get. He hopes that Wendy, and the interviews she's been doing lately will help get that bill passed. We're hoping. We wish the best. In Wendy's case, but we got to move on. Justin Bieber is in the news. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. He's hinting at being hacked after fans noticed that he unfollowed his wife. He said, quote, someone went on my account and unfollowed my wife. Shit is getting sus out here. End of quote. That's just what we're going to do. Anything involving your wife, anything involving celebrities, when they do something they shouldn't do and they get caught, now y'all been hacked. Beaver Kid, I don't give a damn. Sir, get your life in order. I don't care enough about you white people right now. You people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. I don't give a fuck about you people. Sir, go with God. In our last story of the day, before we get out of here, and I send y'all over there to really be, the Black Eyed Peas, they said that they are not moving forward with their Las Vegas residency due to current circumstances. They said, quote, to our dearest Peabodys, it is with a heavy heart in light of current circumstances. Our Las Vegas shows will not be moving forward as planned. Ticket providers will issue full refunds automatically. Stay tuned for updates on future performances by following us. We can't wait to see you again. End of quote. Now, people are speculating on what they mean when they say the current circumstances. Some people are saying it's because of the climate in America. Other people are saying they may be having some internal issues going on. I don't know. I wasn't going over there to see a Black Eyed Peas show anyway. I mean, I I don't know what to tell you. I'm so 2008. You so 2000 and late. I don't know. I don't know. Child, uh, we over here, the black delegation, we're not checking for y'all Black Eyed Peas. We really didn't care about y'all residency. We don't care. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, y'all. I know I went a little long today, but we had some more stuff. We'll be back tomorrow to break some more stuff down. Listen, like I said, y'all, we are here in community. We are here for each other. Be not dismayed. I am going to be here with y'all, making sure that I give y'all the stuff that matters and affects our communities. I'm going to make sure I parcel through all of the fuck shit and bullshit that you may be getting from mainstream media and make sure that what you get over here, especially when it comes to this new administration, that what you get over here is stuff that directly affects our lives and stuff that they might be that they might not that they may not be telling you in mainstream media, and that may go under the cloak of darkness. Okay, so I wanted to go through that. I'm about to send y'all over to Really B. She looks like she's going to be going through some of this stuff as well. But like I said, I wanted to hash out some really important things in those executive orders. I know I took a long time, but I wanted to hash out some of the important ones. Okay. Um, I'm about to send y'all over there. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you all for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Thank you all. Somebody gave me a super chat earlier. Thank you for that super chat. And thank y'all for being here. We'll be right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, to do it all over again. Y'all hang tight. I'm gonna send y'all over to Really B, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all.